Hey guys, new video here. Talking about sextants today. So there's three kinds. There's simple, there's prime, and there's awakened. It's gonna be a new player guide. So if you are used to juicing your atlas, you don't need to watch. Basically, you're gonna find that yourself dropping a lot of these. Now, the simple are kind of like bottlenecked by the white maps. When you get to the yellows, you'll see yourself sometimes starting to drop the primes and then also dropping the simples. And when you get to red maps, you're gonna find a lot of awakened sextant. I mean, like a decent amount to like just not like perfectly use if you're going to do a full full sextant atlas, but enough where it's like, you can probably trade them in bulk for a lot of money, or you can use them yourself to juice it up. So how do they work? Well, they're a little bit different from last league. So how they work is I'm just going to take this area right here. I'm going to use my simple ones here, and I'm going to put it on the 4 watchstones. So they no longer go on maps, and they apply to the entire zone. So if you look right here, this zone denoted by the borders of this rope, right? It kind of looks like a snake. This is the zone that these watchstones apply to, and there's 8 of these zones. So when you sextant the watchstone, it applies to every single map in the zone. And you can tell by just mousing over the maps, and you'll see the 3 uses just like they were before on every single one of these maps. There is one little thing that you gotta pay attention to, and that is that you can get duplicates in the same set of watchstones, even if they're from the same zone. So you see, if I control click on these, they go back into the area that they were from, right? You see this? All of these are from Tyrann's End. Now, if I, what I did is I tested out if I mix and match these stones with other regions, so that half came from one region, half came from another. Did that stop or make more dupes show up on the sextants? And it really didn't matter. So keep in mind that it doesn't even matter where you get your watchstones from when you are getting your awakening level up. You will still be able to get duplicates no matter what. And what do I mean by duplicates? Well, let me just test it out, so maybe I can show you one. Okay, that didn't work. That didn't work. I'm just wasting some sextants, but it's for the sake of the video. Okay, so right now I'm not getting many duplicates, but if I keep going now, these sextants are really cheap right now, which is why I'm okay. Right here, I got one. The sextants are so cheap right now, which is why I'm willing to do this test here. So now if you mouse over, as you can see, there's 2 duplicates. Unique bosses drop 20%, unique bosses deal 20% increased damage, and the maps has 20% quality. That mod specifically doesn't work if you have already a 20% quality map. It doesn't make it 40. Just keep that in mind. And so why did this happen? It's because I have that that roll right here on the crimson watchstone, and then I also have it on the green one. Now, one thing you could do is you could take one of the dupes and just swap it out for another region. You see that? And now it's fine, right? Now, that might be because it's really rare they're gonna have 8 regions with that one mod, but that's with the current price of the simple sextants. Let me just go grab some more here. All right, I have over 500 right now. You don't really need to do that. You can just re-roll it if you want to be efficient and faster, right? Because I'm telling you, you can probably get 400 to 1 exalt, and so you will have to re-roll it because they do not stack, and the red text is your indicator to know that it does not work like that. So you have to re-roll or replace the watchstones once again. Now, what do the prime and the awaken do? Now, the best way to explain it for the noobs, okay, is that the prime and the awakened, for the most part, give higher rolls and some unlocks of sextants that will apply to the maps that aren't available on the simple one. So let me just show you on this zone right here. I don't have it. I'm going to use some primes here, and you're going to just see larger rolls of the previous one. So, for example, area contains 30 mysterious barrels. In the past, pre 3.9, this sextant was actually the baseline, meaning that whether you rolled that with a white, yellow, or a red, you would get probably you'll get 30 clusters of mysterious barrels. Okay, now this is actually a prime one because the normal one I believe has 20. So if you use a simple one and you get the clusters of barrels, you will have 20, and I believe the red one, or with the awakened one now, will have 40. Okay, so you can see that this is also I think this is a prime one. This just adds more monsters, and the biggest thing to note is that when you get a mod that has monsters on it, you will have probably bigger pack size. So the simple is always 6 packs of additional mobs of a certain element. You're gonna see it. Let me just see if I can show you right here. You see how the lightning damage monsters have 6 additional mods. With a prime sextant, you're gonna have 8 additional packs, and with an awakened sextant, you're gonna have 10, and that kind of matters later on when you're really juicing up your maps. Okay, in here, this gloom shrine, this is like adding a domination shrine to your map. This is also only available on the primes, and then you can see this is a good example right here. You can see the poisonous packs, you have 8. Okay, so the best way to think about it is that sextants, simple sextants, are always good to use. And then depending on the price of the Prime and the Awaken, if you're a new player, I would hold on to these until you really get a strategy down for the Atlas, or you can sell them in bulk to make a little bit of money for the items that your character might need now. Okay, but general rule of thumb, TLDR. Okay, if you made it to this point, the simple sextants always good to use because you have to think about it like this: when you get your Awakening level up, the Awakening level will multiply. We'll multiply the rolls on the map, so quantity, rarity, all that good stuff, and if you're running beyond, even things like that. And so more monsters will be kind of a multiplicative bonus overall to the map. This will get a little bit better because right now there's a bug. If you spawn influence on one of these areas, what is going to happen is it will hide the citadel. So for example, let's say that you put 3 sextants on here, so you get 3 uses. Your first map you run spawns Drox or anybody, and then now Drox has hidden your sextants. The next 2 maps after that you run will still have the sextant on there, but you will not be able to sextant after those 2. So if you don't spawn the Drox encounter, the actual Conqueror fight, then you're kind of bricked in the sense of that if you run any maps in here, you will not have the sextants applied to the maps. So this doesn't really matter if you're just like doing variety maps and you don't care too much about it and you don't even want to use sextants, but it does for like people who want to min max. That will matter a little bit. Okay, and then anything else I need to go over here, they're gonna fix that. Now it's holidays in New Zealand, and we have New Year's coming up, so we're guessing that won't be hotfixed until after the New Year's. There's a lot of bugs right now. For example, freezing metamorphs. Some people's like atlases are bricked, and so it's safe to assume that after the new year this will be fixed, so you can freely sextant. But I just want to give a quick primer on these. There's a website that you can go to, and I'm going to link this below in the video. This is PoEDB, and this basically shows you, if you want to look up, if you're more of like a investigative player, you can kind of look up all the things that the sextants give you, and whenever you see a sextant that is similar in its rolls but the numbers are larger, that just means that it's going from simple to prime to awaken. Okay, and you can see all the rolls here, and they're pretty good. There's a little bit of like counterplay and certain strategies that you can use when you get certain sextants, but this is a new player video. And just to show that the simple sextants are always easy to use because they're gonna add a lot of monsters to the map. If you're a new player, I would not re-roll any sextants if I were you. Okay, like none of them, because you're gonna get used to them. You're gonna see what they add to the map, and then eventually over time you'll save money by not re-rolling them, right? If you don't know what you're doing, and then also you kind of know which ones you don't like. Now there is one little sextant that you might need to pay attention to for certain builds, and that is a healing sextant. So you see how like these are elemental, like cold, fire, lightning, and stuff like this. There's one that says contains monsters that heal, and then it makes your health flasks and your mana flasks instant, and that might be an issue if you rely on a over time flask, like a enduring mana flask, or maybe you have like a Lavianges that you're using, so when you proc your Lavianges you have infinite casts of your spells. So keep that in mind. If your build just somehow like stops working and you're flask dependent and you're wondering why did my build get bricked in this map in particular, it might be the healing monster sextant. Okay, and that's just like one little thing. For most builds you won't have to worry about that at all. So that's the video. I hope you guys use these. Let me just go to PoE Trade real quick to show you guys something. At the time of this recording, best way to get them is to go to the official site, pathofexile.com/trade, go to bulk item exchange, and let's say that you have you want simple sextants to spam those on your maps, and you have like an exalted orb, right? So let's just take a look at this. I mean, look at the prices here. This guy has 7,000 of them. I don't even know how he got 7,000 of them. Okay, well I know, but it's bots, right? So this guy has 7,000 of them. This guy has 900. This guy has 1,600. This guy has 2,000. So they're in no short supply. These are the real rates, and 400 to 1 is truly ridiculous, because if you remember, these are the equivalent of white sextants in previous leagues, although some of the rolls got nerfed a tiny bit. And we were used to paying like 1C per one white sextant, and that was a steal, right? Sometimes you would get like one exalt, you maybe get like later on in the league, you get 85 white sextants, right? So even less than, so one white sextant was like more than 1C. Right now, you're getting at least 3 to 4 sextants for 1C. That's basically 1C to sextant an entire area on your map for 3 runs. And if you don't think that those you can think of pack size as maybe like a couple hundred monsters each. So if you don't think that those monsters will cover the cost of that 1C over 3 maps, then something's going on with your farm. Maybe your loot filter is like hiding certain items or certain currencies, because that is like the most extreme case of sextant prices that I've ever seen in my time playing PoE. So use the simple sextants as you get them. You can't go wrong. You can't lose money on them. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. Okay, stream every day on Twitch. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me there. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.